This is video number 6 in Chapter 10 of the Microsoft Excel 2013 Comprehensive Textbook. We're on page 666. And we want the Step 1 button selected right here. And we want to click the View Code button. Let's go to Developer tab here and click on View Code. And it'll show us the code that's behind it. And then what we want to do is we want to find where the code behind this button is, and we've got a list of objects here, and the one we want is Command Button 1. And we get a little template here, but it's empty, so nothing at all is going to happen when you click on Command Button 1. And we need to enter in the instructions that are shown on page 666. And the green stuff at the top, the lines that begin with an apostrophe, are comments. They have absolutely nothing to do with the commands that are going to be executed. Those are for a person to read, so the person can figure out what's going on. The only thing that matters is the text in black. And if you're looking at the bottom of page 1071, where they've got a little table, we're talking about lines 7 through 14 need to be entered. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go offline here and do that, and I'll return. Okay, we've got everything typed in here now, and we're just copying text out of the textbook here. And what these do is they all cause an input box to appear on the screen with a prompt, and the prompt for this one will be last name followed by a question mark, and an input box has a line for you to type something in, and then it will put it in the place on the spreadsheet that has been given the name last name with an underscore in between. So we checked all those names a little bit ago. All 8 of these rows here refer to ranges that have been named in our spreadsheet. And we're simply saying go to that range, and the value that we put in there is going to be whatever the user types in when this input box shows up. So there will be 8 input boxes. The user will type in a last name, a first name, street address, city, state, zip, telephone number, and email address, and they will all get copied into the corresponding named ranges on the spreadsheet. Now, if you were to leave an underscore out here or something, or misspell anything in quotation marks on the left side here, it's not going to work. And if you do make a mistake on something here, like forget the parenthesis at the end, you will get an error message. And so some of the mistakes it can catch. But if you misspell something in here between the quotation marks, it's not going to catch it. And these must be spelled exactly correctly because they refer to something on the spreadsheet that's already been named. Now, what appears between quotation marks over here is just a prompt to the user, and you can misspell a prompt if you want to. You've probably seen misspelled prompts. And the rest of it is just for size and position of stuff on the screen. So that's what's going on here. And guess what they ask us to do next? On the top of page 667, they want us to go to command button number 2 and enter a bunch of code. And again, I'm going to pause the video here and type that stuff in. Okay, this is what I get when I type it in, and this line comes up red. And when I type in this command here, this is what's causing the error. If I go to the end of this line and hit the enter key, that's not going to do it. I'm going to have to back up and edit it a little bit. Okay, now if I hit the enter key, then I get this error saying that something is wrong here. And apparently this is supposed to turn off bold for the selection. The selection is A2 to N2 right here. And this is not working, and I'm not going to bother to look up what's wrong with it. I'm just going to delete it, and now it should work. And actually this blank and underscore up here, it needs to be a blank followed by an underscore. It's just a continuation to let you know that the line continues. And if we delete it, it works fine if we got enough room on the line. So that's all that is. And that underscore does have a space before it, so that can also cause an error if you're typing this stuff in. Now, Let's go to top of page 668, and we need to be in the Visual Basic Editor, which we already are, and press Control G, and that opens up the immediate window down here. The immediate window is where you can type commands in and get immediate responses. And we want to type in active sheet. And type that in and hit enter. And this should make the group box invisible. And so if we go back here and flip over to the spreadsheet side rather than the Visual Basic side here, the group box was what was right around this stuff right here, and it is no longer visible. Okay. And now we want to go to the bottom of page 668. We want to close the Visual Basic Editor window here. And if necessary, when the Excel window is visible, we want to exit design mode. Well, we've already done that. That is turned off. We want to go to File to go to Backstage View here. And we want to go to our options. And we want to click on Advanced over here on the left side. And we want to scroll down to the Display group. Right down here is the Display group. And we wanted to show page breaks. Okay, so this is general display. This is for this workbook, and then we're going to scroll down a little bit further here and display options for this worksheet. And we want to, let me see. We want to remove the check marks for show page breaks. And that has been removed. And we also want to remove the check mark for show a 0 in cells that have 0 value, and that's already been done for us, so click on OK. And now we're on page 669, and we want to go to the View tab up here. And we want to remove the check mark for grid lines here. And we want to remove the formula bar. And we want to remove the headings. Okay, so we're trying to make it look like it's not a spreadsheet. And now to go to page 670, and we want to collapse the ribbon. And now it looks even less like a spreadsheet. Hide the mailing list worksheet. And that appears to be hidden already. And click on Review. And we want to click on Protect here, and we're going to unprotect it. The password is art with a capital A, 15T5, and hit enter. And do it again. And hit enter, click on OK to close it, and we want to do a go to, which is F5, function key F5. And we want to go to J8 and click on OK or hit enter. And that will make J8 the active cell. And now we want to save it. And now we're on the bottom of page 670, and we want to test the controls that we put in. And it wants us to put in data for 2 people. And so we want to click to enter contact information. And Canton is the last name. Hit enter, click on OK. First name is James, 24. Zero 3324 555 555 1212, and email and then we want the other command button. I'll use the buttons in the boxes to select answers to questions, and the answers to the questions are let me see, telephone, social media, and holiday show, which is already checked, but we don't want this one. And then click to submit the information. Okay, and what all of that stuff was supposed to do was automate the process of putting the data on the mailing list and worksheet. And if I go here and right click and choose unhide, it'll give me a list of sheets that are hidden. Mailing list is one of them. Click on OK, and if I flip over here, all of the stuff that was typed in is now visible on the mailing list sheet. And if I go back here, and if I repeat the process for the second person, it'll put in the data for the second person as well, and I'm not going to do that. That's just busy work. And it says hide this sheet again and save the file. And now what we're going to do is we're going to reset our quick access ribbon up here, and we want to go to let me see, let's do this, let's right click on it, customize, and then we want to go to reset here, click on the down arrow next to reset, and we're going to reset all customizations, and we're going to say yes, and you notice they just went away up there on the top. And actually I want to keep these for my personal use, and let me see. Okay, so I've got it back the way I had it before, and then we're going to click on OK here. And then we're going to go back to view here, and we're just kind of undoing some of the stuff we did before. We want the headings, we want the formula bar, we want grid lines, and we also want to show the tabs and the commands. And that's it. There's a little business at the end about doing a digital signature, and we're not going to worry about that, so that takes us to the end of chapter 10.